YouTube, what is up? So it's been quite some time since I've done a video for YouTube anyway, on anything. Mostly we do Marvel Legends, and we've talked about doing G.I. Joe classified figures, and we have yet to do a G.I. Joe classified video until today. We also talked about incorporating comic books into the channel. A lot of us, our fondest memories of G.I. Joe will go back to like the 80s cartoons. We don't really talk about the depictions of the way these characters were portrayed and depicted in comic books, right? So we've actually got some comic books where we can talk about that and some of the things that happened in the comic books. Maybe not, maybe, I'm not sure how deep we're gonna get into that. But we do have bios of these characters in a G.I. Joe run. I believe it was a 4-part series. I know I have 3 of the issues, and the 4th issue talked about vehicles. I don't think I have that issue. In fact, I can't find it. I found 1 through 3. And just to give you an idea of what we're going to be talking about is the G.I. Joe order of battle. And it's backwards. Yeah, that sucks. But nonetheless, we're going to talk about some of these characters and their original bios. And bear with me, it's backwards, I know. So like you have like Alpine here, and it'll give you a breakdown of Alpine and talk about him. And we'll talk about that as we go over some of the videos, or as we go over some of the figures in the video, as well as bring in vintage figures. And that's kind of like what I was hoping to get out of this classified run, and why I was so hesitant to do it to begin with. And I know you guys don't want to hear me talk, but this is what I do. I talk. I like to talk about stuff that I enjoy. So for example, what I was saying was, like, how awesome would it have been to get like a Duke that looked very similar to this, right? It took them a while to get around to doing it. We see the Cobra Bats. They're not like a modern version of the Bat, right? It's a complete rendition of the original Bat figure. Unfortunately, I don't have any of the Bat figures. I had sold them on Macari and then was like, God damn, you're an idiot. But that's neither here nor there. Another one, like let's just do this for example. Like this, I do not like. I like for them to look more like this. And in fact, Serpentor looks more like this and less like something like this. It's like a futuristic Duke, like, you know, and yeah, I just didn't like the line to begin with. I thought they were cool. I was like, oh man, should I get these? Do I dive in to G.I. Joe Classified? And once they started, you know, doing some of the newer figures where they looked more like the older figures, I was like, yes, I'm in. So I was buying them. I was putting them to the side. In fact, I got damn near every single G.I. Joe figure from the classified run, besides maybe 3 or 4. And that's not including some of the stuff that's either shipping now or coming out later next year or by the end of the year. We do not know with Hasbro right now. They're just so all over the map with some of the stuff that they put out. Like, you know, we can pre-order it, we won't get it for a year later. Oh, here we go, it shows up at your doorstep. Anyway, yeah, so we're gonna turn this video around. If you're guessing why I haven't been on for quite some time, I couldn't tell you how many months. A lot of things have happened. Yeah, life happens, and it's okay. And nothing major. I mean, a lot of major stuff, but nothing bad, nothing majorly bad. In fact, it's all been mostly positive. Yeah, so let's dive into this. We'll talk about Duke, who is number 4 in the classified run. We skipped 1, 2, and 3. We're gonna get back into them at some other point, but we just got bombarded with packages of just stuff. Did I just show my address? Yeah, I don't care. I got security. Yeah, it doesn't matter. Yeah, we got all kind of stuff. In fact, we are going to be giving stuff away too on this channel. And if you stick around long enough, you guys are going to help me grow this channel. And we're going to be giving away some stuff. And I've tried to do giveaways before, and they do not work out for whatever damn reason. I tried to give away some figures before, some Marvel figures, and they were in another country, and then it was hard to ship to that country. Instead, I ended up sending them money instead, and it was more money than what the figures cost. And I know that guy's gonna watch. In fact, you know, he hits me up every now and then and we talk. He's a good kid. But, you know, having to go through all that and do it it's kind of discouraging, but at the same time, I kind of helped him out of a tough situation. And in fact, I wish I could have helped more. But, you know, sometimes we got it like that and sometimes we don't. And, you know, when I had it like that, I was able to help him. And when I couldn't, I had to be straightforward and be like, hey, there's only so much I can do, kid. You know, yeah, neither here nor there. But going back to the giveaway, all my giveaways are gonna be US based only. I'm not gonna be shipping stuff out and worried about stuff that can't get to you. I'm not gonna ask you to pay for any type of shipping or anything like that. I'm gonna take care of all that good stuff. In fact, we're gonna give away some really good stuff. We will go over that like at the end of the video. So if you're here, damn, we're in 7 minutes. That's what I hate about myself. I just ramble and talk about random stuff. But yeah, this is gonna be the first G.I. Joe classified video, and I'm looking forward to it. So hang in there. All right, so I promise, like, in some point in the future, we're gonna get things set up a lot nicer. Yeah, if you guys are here from the beginning, I had a toy room, bought a new house, bigger house. Thought I had an extra room for a toy room, turned it into a guest room. I ended up getting half of the garage, and that thing is not in good condition right now. It's my favorite word, it's in shambles. That's my favorite word, because, you know, it's not too bad. Maybe I'll even show you guys. But yeah, we took everything out of their shipper boxes. As you can see, I got 2 Serpentors. Both of those are mine. Dr. Mindbender, we got a couple of bats, and Sergeant Slaughter, and these all kind of play into each other, especially if you were fans of the cartoon, where they get, you know, different DNA samples of some of the greatest conquerors of the world, and most of them were bad guys. They used the DNA to create Surpentor. Dr. Mindbender did. And then, you know, we got some bats. We got Sergeant Slaughter, who fights Serpentor in the greatest movie ever made, a G.I. Joe animated movie back in the 80s. Was that 88? Maybe later than that? Wow, I can't remember. But I did see that movie, and it was such a drag that one didn't come out in theaters. Like, they did Transformers in theaters, but they didn't do G.I. Joe, since Transformers didn't do too well, so they kind of thought G.I. Joe wasn't going to do well, so I guess they put it straight to VHS. And as soon as that thing came out, I remember my dad going to go get the video, at least rent it. And then here we have Duke, who was killed by Serpentor in the movie. And it was so damn sad. The kids were crying that they ended up bringing Duke back. But initially, he was supposed to die in that film and not come back. but I think they got a lot of like fan mail saying like, "Oh, how could you do this to the kids and this and that, whatever," and yeah. So they end up bringing him back. But this is what I wanted to show you guys, where it talks about, I don't think they retconned anybody's or changed anybody's background story. They do that a lot in the comic books. But let me just show you how cool this comic book is. It's not really a comic book like I was saying. It just has, it's like the official G.I. Joe handbook. And this is number 3, right? And 3 is Cobra, as you can see down here. And it talks about, different members of Cobra. And look, this is Serpentor. So if you want to read this, go ahead. I'm not going to bore you with all that. But let's see if we can get that in there. All right. And this is something that they've shied away from when it comes to G.I. Joe, as far as not giving us any file cards anymore. Let me see. Do I have any file cards? Like, okay, here's Fireflies. It'll give you his information, like his file name is classified, and then his specialty, demolitions and sabotage. And that's what I loved about like the old G.I. Joes. You actually got a really good feel of who these characters were. And over time, I just feel like they believed that it was a waste. But to a young guy like me, when I was a kid growing up, these were everything to me. You know what I mean? It kind of gave character to these characters. And Larry Hama, man, he did an awesome job of coming up with the names from yearbooks of friends and stuff like that, if you didn't know that. And people that actually worked for Hasbro at the time. I almost said Kenner. Wow, Jesus, that would have been an epic fail. But yeah, these books are pretty awesome. So if you want to go back and learn about some of your favorite characters, they break down every single character, and these books are not expensive. In fact, you could probably find these in dollar comic book bins, and they're very, very cheap. Let's see, do they even have Sergeant Slaughter in here? This goes all the way up to L, so Sergeant Slaughter wouldn't be in that one. He might be in this number 2 issue. We're gonna crack this open. Maybe I didn't think I wanted to open this one, just because I just didn't feel like the need to. So I'll show you Dukes in a little bit. But if I'm not mistaken, Sergeant Slaughter might be in this one, unless this came out before he came out, or he was, introduced to us as a member of G.I. Joe. So this would have came out back in 1987. So there's a good chance, yeah, he's gonna be in here, because the first page starts off with Mercer. And if you don't know Mercer, he is an ex-Cobra Viper. Does it say that there? Yeah, it does. It says it right here, if you can see that. So yeah, Sergeant Slaughter should be in this one. In fact, check this out. People would say, oh, I don't know if this is, you're going to want to hear this too. I don't know if this is something that's well known throughout the community, and I think it was speculated upon, where they were saying that Rocky Balboa was supposed to be a member of G.I. Joe, and then he does Rambo, and then Rambo became its own thing, and then they had toys and licensing for those figures through Remco, maybe? I can't remember what company. This was quite some time. And yes, I was around. I'm a lot older than what you guys may think. So they didn't follow through with Rocky Balboa being a member of G.I. Joe. But as you can clearly see, there's Rocky Balboa as a member of G.I. Joe. And they just did away with any affiliation as far as Sylvester Stallone and Rocky Balboa being a member of G.I. Joe, because Rambo was its own thing and it took on a life of its own. And they just tried to delete that from everybody's memory. But we had remnants of Rocky Balboa with Big Boa, who was supposed to be his nemesis. There was a Cobra member. So right around the time we got Big Boa as an action figure, we should have been getting a Rocky figure as well. Didn't happen, but as you can see, that's more than likely what he would have looked like as a G.I. Joe. Maybe with a muscle shirt on or something. I don't think they would have well, they gave us Quick Kick. He wasn't bare chested, and that's like one of my favorite G.I. Joe characters was Quick Kick. Not my favorite, but the fact that he was grew up in South Central LA like myself. He grew up in Watts, or his parents had a liquor store in Watts, and that's where I grew up, in Watts, California, in case you guys are wondering. All right, that's enough about that. What did I open this one for? Oh, Sergeant Slaughter. God, Lee, PQRS T. Okay, gotta go backwards. There's Stalker, Snow Job, Spirit, Snake Eyes, Shipwreck, Sci-Fi, Sergeant Slaughter. Wow. I'm glad they didn't give us a Sergeant Slaughter figure that looked like that. So again, this is what they were planning on doing with a lot of these figures, and somewhere down the line, some of them got changed, a lot of these characters. And I'm not too sure if he ever even looked like that in the comic books. Yeah, so there's his bio there. I don't know if you can read it. If you want to, I'll try to pan up as slow as I can. If you guys are interested in me reading these to you, just leave a comment. We'll go over this one day, just all the bios of the characters and bring out some of the characters. But yeah, we have a lot to talk about, a lot to go over. You guys do want to stick around. I know we're 17 minutes in, but we're going to talk about, actually, let's go ahead and talk about that now. Stick around. I wanted to grow this channel. We are going to be doing G.I. Joe and Marvel Legends. I don't have room to collect anything else. Marvel Legends is an animal, and G.I. Joe is quickly becoming a beast. Like these things are just so damn awesome. I'm so happy that in my lifetime they redid G.I. Joe in this fashion. I've always wanted 6-inch G.I. Joe action figures that didn't look like this, but look more like this. And somewhere down the line, we're gonna get a new Duke. There's no ifs, ands, or buts about it. Like, we got a new Gun-Ho. In fact, that's one of the figures that I don't have, is the newer Gun-Ho, or any of those vintage carded ones. I don't have them. I couldn't find any of them yet. That's one that I want. And like, it's saddening to me that, like, I even thought about getting rid of my original G.I. Joe figures to make room for some of this, and then I thought about it, like, man, what am I doing? This is like my first true love. Why am I getting rid of this stuff? And by that time, it was a little too late. I got rid of some pretty good stuff too. A couple of bats, a couple of Crimson Guards, and I wish I would have kept them, just because we could have done, something with the bat. The Sergeant Slaughter I got rid of. He had his little mace, which goes for a fortune. I think I probably got like $80 for him alone, just because of that damn stick. All my bats were in like very good condition, no signs of like play wear, stuff like that. The holographic emblem that they have on their chest, not this version, but the original version, that was there. Had all their attachments. None of the attachments were missing. Tight joints. Like, all my stuff is like in very, very good condition. In fact, like, I can show you, like, here's Beachhead, the original Beachhead, and like you can see they're tight. They're not wiggly or anything, nothing rusty, very light to no play wear on most of my figures. Like this is my true love. Like, if I can go back and buy every single G.I. Joe piece again, I would. And the more I talk about it, I am pretty much talking myself into doing it. Yeah, in my lifetime, I've had three flags. No, two complete flags and and a flag that was like maybe 70% complete. A Terradrome, like you name it. There's very few vintage G.I. Joe items that I didn't have in my possession at some point. In fact, I sold a collection that had every figure from 1983, a complete run of straight arm figures. Nothing too crazy like the Mickey Mouse Cobra Commander or the Goat Head. What was it? Yeah, the Goat Head version of. Wow, what is he called? Anyways, you guys know what I'm talking about, man. I'm getting old. I'm drawing a blank. It'll come to me right now. But let's crack some of these open. Oh, did we finish talking about what we're gonna give away? So I did order 2 more Serpentors and 2 more Dr. Ben Mindbenders. Dr. Ben Minders. 2 more Dr. Mindbenders. So with those, I believe they're gonna come out January, February, March, April, May. I believe it's May that they're gonna release. Anyways, we're gonna talk about it again, and we're gonna talk about it on every G.I. Joe figure up until we hit a certain number, and I don't know what that number is gonna be. So it's gonna be a Mindbender and a Serpentor that we're gonna give away, and if anything pops up in between, then maybe we might throw something else in. Maybe we can order another Sergeant Slaughter. I'll figure something out. I'll make it worth it. But if you're watching this, subscribe, like the video. I don't know if we should do it in this video or the next video, but I'm gonna have. I want to make it fair. That way, people don't come backwards and have to come back and look for this video. So it'll be in a future video where I'm gonna say, hey, this is gonna be the giveaway video. Make sure you leave a like and comment, or maybe just a comment even. Something like that. We'll figure it out, and then we'll do a live drawing. Shit, I don't know how many people are gonna want in, but maybe we can do like names in a hat. We can do. I don't know if I like the computer where it randomly draws names. I don't know if I like that. Like, I don't know how you guys feel about that kind of stuff. I just want to make it fair and obvious. Like, okay, that person won, and that's it. Okay, so what do we open first? I think everybody's seen these figures already, right? So there's like nothing new. Like, I mean, they're new, but God, we can imagine how many countless videos there are of Serpentor and Dr. Mindbender. I know I watch a few. There's a few channels that I do watch, and I like them. Even though, you know, some of them kind of crap all over other YouTubers, it doesn't bother me as long as they leave me alone personally. Then that's their business, because I'm about that life. With that being said, man, let's look at Serpentor and see what we got here. And like, that's damn, I do not have Serpentor's Air Chariot. I don't even know like what G.I. Joe's, as far as vintage, that I do have. I just got like a shoebox. I'll show them to you real quick, like of, you know, just random G.I. Joes in there, and most of them that as far as I can remember, are complete. And I got rid of quite a few of them. In fact, I was thinking about getting rid of all of them, and I'm glad I didn't. But yeah, there's the original. Jeez, Serpentor. We'll just have him chill right here. with my fan on. I hope you can't hear that damn fan. He's probably gonna knock him over. But yeah. I'm glad I didn't give this away because this box is pretty bent up, and like I don't care about that kind of stuff. That stuff to me doesn't bother me because I tend to open everything. The boxes are cool. In fact, like I got two of them, one to just display without opening it, and this one I'm gonna open, obviously, for you guys, and we can talk about my thoughts on these G.I. Joe figures. And I'm gonna be truthful with you guys. This is only gonna be the second G.I. Joe figure from the classified run that I've opened, and the other one was like a Red Ninja, and that was about it. I have yet to open any of this stuff. In fact, some of this stuff has gone up in value, but to me, that's not important. This is kind of cool. I kind of dig it. Yeah, actually, I like that a lot. Now it makes me want to keep another one. But no, we're giving one away. And like I said, I got two more coming. Yeah, this is actually kind of cool. I know you guys have seen the boxes already. There's the back of the box art. We're not going to dig too much into this at all. But it's pretty good. The slip cover, front and back, I guess, is just the other half. It's the same thing as on the back. So yeah, and this is number 57 in the G.I. Joe collection. And if I'm not mistaken, I can't remember who I seen open theirs. Yeah. But we're gonna open ours and then go from there. In fact, I don't even know if I'm opening this the correct way, but it's all good. Destroy the box, doesn't matter to me. Okay, that's not right. Do we have to do it from the bottom? Yep, we gotta do it from the bottom. Oh, from the side. It comes out sideways. Okay. I hope that's right. I'd hate to destroy this box, but we gotta do what we gotta do. Struggling. All right, so this should be a lot easier than this. Definitely should be. Yeah, I guess it does slide out. It looks like it, but it doesn't want to. It's like jammed in there. Okay, it just got hung up. Oh, there's that air chariot. Oh, that's cool as hell. I forgot that it was that damn big. Well, I didn't forget. I just was more thinking about the figure. And then, like, on these panels here, you can just, cut the top of that tape up there. And then this is going to, like, flip open on the top. And then everything's in trays. All right, so we're gonna go ahead and take that out, take this one out. And the rest of them, I'm just gonna pause the video. That way you guys don't have to deal with it. Cause, I mean, do we care to see like the opening of the figures? I don't know, what do you guys prefer? Make sure you guys let me know. That way I'm not wasting your guys' damn time. But, oh man. I feel like crying right now, man. Like, this is crazy. all these joints are really, really, really tight. Yeah, these joints are like super tight, especially on the arms. Oh man. Bro. Like, man, I don't even know what to say. I don't even know what to say. Like, this just gives me so much vintage Serpentor vibes. It's not even funny, man. It's not even funny. This is crazy. And, you know, I feel like a spoiled little brat right now. That's the only thing I can say. Like, everybody has their opinions, and you guys are entitled to you guys' opinions about toys and how expensive they are, and they know what they're doing. They know that us guys in our 40s, we don't give a hell how much these things are gonna cost us. We don't care. We want them because we can afford it. You know what I mean? We're not kids anymore. For all the times we walked into, let's say Montgomery Ward, or I don't know where you guys are from, if they had a Montgomery Ward, but Clark's and Montgomery Ward and Sears and stuff like that, and we got told no on some of these toys. Like, yeah, this is how we get our retribution. This is how we get our, not necessarily payback, but we get our due. Because, to be honest, not all of us grew up with wealthy parents. And, you know, even then, like, G.I. Joes weren't that expensive. But maybe for the time it was. But, you know, I would love to pay $4 for a damn G.I. Joe now. Like, you couldn't get a G.I. Joe for that price at all. This is kind of interesting. So, I know I'm wasting you guys' time. 30 minutes in. Sorry. This Surpentor is freaking crazy. If you guys want like high definition versions of this, go ahead and feel free to go look it up on other channels. I'm not keeping you guys from watching other people's videos. I'll never say something or do something like that. But I can't recommend whose damn video that I saw this on. But there's a few. Oh, it has drop down hips. Man, this is crazy. This is just, man. Yeah, I don't know what else to say about this. Let's see if we can make that look a little prettier. Maybe I shouldn't have did this in my living room. But let me put this up here. Fix this camera angle just a little bit. Excuse my fake Christmas tree over there. Got a fake tree in the corner. I hate fake trees. I like to smell the tree. But check this guy out, man. This is crazy. Let me see if I can turn this light off over here. I'm gonna step around real quick. See, no, that's not gonna help. Yeah, that's gonna get too dark. But I wanted you to see the skin tone a little better on him. And if you guys have any questions, man, feel free to ask. But this guy is freaking awesome. This is really cool. Yeah. Yeah, let's go ahead and pause the video, crack the other ones out, and then we'll see what we got. All right, I know this video is running long, but oh my God. Like, I haven't seen an unboxing for the Sergeant Slaughter figure. And this is crazy. Like, it's way too much. Like, taking him out of the box, you don't realize how much stuff is in that box with the Sergeant Slaughter. And it's like, but wait, there's more. But wait, there's more. And it's like, this is insane, man. Like, I don't even know how to begin to tell you guys. Like, if you guys are on the fence about even collecting G.I. Joe figures, man, oh my god. I'm glad I changed my mind, and I'm glad Hasbro was able to convince me uh, to buy these figures. Because, like I said, man, I had enough with the Marvel Legends line. I was like, yeah, no, I'm good. I'm gonna stick to my Marvel Legends, and I'm putting together this Sergeant Slaughter's gun here, which is really, really cool piece. I just put that little scope there on, and then he has a magazine that plugs in, a clip, banana clip there. That's cool. And then he has his classic baton there. Really, really cool. Nice touch with the gold. Just like the vintage version. Came with a tiny Sergeant Slaughter there. That's awesome. And then quite a few hands. A couple of pointing hands, gripping hands. Looks like two trigger hands. Two grabbing hands when he's wrestling. Serpentor. And then Serpentor came with a lot too. Like these little claws here, which are kind of cool. That was the short version. And then he has the long version there, as well as his backpack. Well, this technically is not his backpack on the vintage figure. That piece was a backpack. And as you can see on the vintage figure, he has, let's see. Like, I'm not sure if that's the claws there. Let's see if we can get that into focus. But I know for a fact on this side, he has claws that comes out of a snake head. Right? Let's get that into focus. Yeah, you can make that out there. So it kind of looks like a snake head with fangs. And on the figure, it is a snake head. Look at that. Wow, that's pretty awesome. I didn't even notice that. Sure, maybe somebody, when they reviewed it, they showed you guys that. But man, I don't even know what to say. And I'm gonna be honest with you guys, man. I don't know what to say about this. So apparently, you can change his hairdress too. We haven't even got to Mindbender. That's what's crazy. And that looks kind of weird, but it pulls off like that. Very, very weird. So it should pull right off. And then on the back end, you can put this other top piece on and change it to where it's two separate pieces like that. I don't know what I like more yet, though. Sorry about my dog. He's a brat. I don't know. I'm kind of leaning towards. Shh. You want to go potty, huh? All right. Let me pause this. I'm gonna take this dog out to potty. Hey, be patient. Yeah, this one I like a little more. But, okay, I hear you. I hear you loud and clear. This one I like a little more. But you can't turn his head with that one on. With the other one, you can. Let me pause this for a second. All right, so, yeah. He went to go potty. Oh, well, what goes there then? Okay, so he has a hole here on his arm where I guess you can put these claws in. So I guess on the vintage figure, I don't know if I actually knew that. That's kind of the same thing. Because you can see two like fangs coming out if you really look at it. Maybe I'm just making that up, but it kind of looks like it. But yeah, he has these two claws that come out. That's actually really, really cool, man. Dude, I'm so glad I actually gave this line a chance. Um, as far as like bending his elbows right now, man, I don't think I'm gonna be able to do that. And this cloth is on his cape is pretty good. It's pretty dope. It's not as sparkly as this guy, but it's really cool. The cobra is cool. And in fact, in the cartoon, he was able to take a cobra, turn it straight, like this. Turned the cobra straight. That's pretty funny. And then he threw this at Duke and killed him. Pretty cool. Also has his staff here, Serpentor. This sword, I'm not too sure where the sword comes in at. Might be comic book accurate, if I'm not mistaken. Oh, let me think about it. Actually, I think he did have a sword. Anyway, yeah, bro. If you guys did not pick these up, make sure you leave a comment in the future on that video when I tell you guys the rules and everything about the giveaway, to make sure you at least try to pick up a Surpentor and a Mindbender at that. Wow, where do we go from here, man? Let's just crack everything open. Let's crack open Mindbender. Man, these things are just awesome. All right, so Mindbender wasn't too bad to get out of package. Most of his stuff was like in trays, so it's actually really, really cool and easy to get to. Do you guys care about the box? Look at this box. It's all already mangled up. Kind of took everything out of it. The box art is actually kind of cool. You can see all the people that he pulled the DNA from. Genghis Khan and all these other, Napoleon and all these other conquerors that he pulled DNA from to create Serpentor. Man, dude, like, what do you say about this line, man? Easily G.I. Joe is like, and maybe I'm being biased here, because this is like, you know, even though I've had like the bats for a while, I never took them out of package. I got like 6 bats. Didn't unbox them just because I was waiting for the right time. And then, you know, like today wasn't an ideal time to unbox all this stuff, but I figured like at some point I got to do it. And I'm not doing nothing today. So there's Dr. Mindbender out of package. I'm trying to get him to stand. For some reason, he doesn't want to stand on his own. Kind of wants to lean. Maybe I just got to loosen him up a little bit. But like, in the future, we go over articulation on video for these figures. But this video is running so long, we're not going to really talk about articulation. You guys can watch other people's reviews for that. This is just me, a 42-year-old kid geeking out on G.I. Joe figures, getting his nostalgia feels on these guys. Here's the vintage Dr. Mindbender, and he's got a cobra on the back. And this thing is like dirty. Maybe I gotta take some like tape or something and clean that off. Sure, most of that'll come off, but I think, well, I don't know. That's weird. I remember this used to peel off, but this looks like it's, I don't know. That's different, because I remember these peeling off. Maybe I might be wrong, and this one feels like it's actually on. I don't know. That's weird. I don't remember it being that way. And there's his pistol here, and we actually got this same gun in black. So you want to talk about getting like nostalgia feels? That is exactly the same gun in black. Can you make that out even? Let's see. Yep. And then we know that he had this weapon as well. I'm not going to bother digging for it right now. But you can hook this up here, and it's just like the vintage version. Although the older version plugged into a box, and this plugs into some kind of canister that goes somewhere on the figure, and I believe it's on his hip. Yeah, it should plug in or port in somewhere. And I hate to do this on camera, but yeah, it plugs in on his left hand side there. But man, I'm telling you, man, like some of my fondest memories as a child have to do with, collecting or, buying G.I. Joe figures, not necessarily collecting at the time as a kid, because, maybe at that time I didn't know what collecting was, but going to Toys R Us with my dad and picking these up. And I remember him having, his own figures as well. And like, I thought the ones that I grabbed were cool until he put his on the figure stand and put them up, in the living room. And they're sitting there, and he's got like Alpine, Bazooka, Shipwreck, and I'm over here with like, some other figures. And I'm looking up at his and like, man, why does my dad's figures look cooler than mine? Because they're all geared up, and mine, I'm just playing with them. And I look up at his Shipwreck and Bazooka and Alpine, and I'm like, man, I should have got those guys. Those guys look cool as hell. And meanwhile, I'm playing with, other guys from that same from those same years, like maybe like version 2 Snake Eyes and a couple of Cobra figures, because I think I got like Snake Eyes and some Vipers. And I look up at his, and it's like, man, wow. Feels like yesterday. Anyway, here's Duke. And let's kind of show how he stacks, the Duke stacks up with, again, these guys' joints are very tight. I got to give it to him. We need a better version of Duke. One that looks more like the original version of Duke. So here he is out of package, and it's a good looking figure. In fact, I like the Tiger Force version a little more, even though it's the same figure. This one just looks way too futuristic with the blue. Now I know they did a second version of this where they took out some of these colors like the blue, and they just made this all silver. I think they have enough. How can I say this? I think they have enough like figures where they can just swap out like the legs. I don't know who would be a good example, but you can switch out the legs and create something more closer to this. And it's almost there. Like it's there, but it's not. Like the gloves will have to go and stuff like that. But yeah, this Thursday night football game is going to get ready to kick off. And I opened up a couple of bats as well. And this is like the first time. And this is like another thing that I don't like. What did I do with Duke's guns? Okay, they're over here. Like, I do not like his guns whatsoever. Like, they're just dumb. Too futuristic. And I'm looking forward to him getting something more like this in the future. Will they do something like that? I don't know. They gave this to Sergeant Slaughter, and I know that this is like an exclusive figure. But we need something not necessarily more realistic, but something closer to the lines of, looking more retro accurate. Sorry about that. Got a phone call. So let's create something, put these things together, and then we'll go from there. All right. So we're gonna finish this long video off. Um, Man, there was a lot of stuff to get to, and we didn't cover quite a few things. Especially like this guy back here, this air chariot. It's very reminiscent of the vintage version. Like it's pretty awesome, man. Like I think they did a really good job. Hopefully you guys got it, man. I mean, I don't know how, you know, that's the thing. Like, I don't want to say nothing to ruffle any feathers, but like, I don't know how serious of collectors you guys are of the G.I. Joe line. Whether you're just, somebody who likes the line or somebody who's like gonna get into their feelings and probably get emotional about some of these things just because, they hold, so much nostalgia, or they remind you of your childhood. But the Serpentor, unfortunately, man, like it sold out, right? And you guys could blame people who like me who bought multiple of them. I bought one to keep, in box, one out of box, and another one to give away. The other one might be going to my son, depending on whether he wants it or not. So I end up getting 4. So we've had multiple opportunities of picking this up, and I purposely got the extra one to give away. Yeah, how you guys feel about that? I don't know. That's up to you. The chance and the opportunity was there. That's all I have to say about that. But this line, man, is just so damn good, and yeah, I'm glad I bought them. Even looking at like the bats are super cool, and I just like that there's so much playability with them. Even though like we're adults, we're not gonna play with them, but you can twist these things up any kind of way. You know what I mean? Change out the hands, the battle damage. This thing right here with the battle damage on it. You know what I mean? Like it's so damn cool, and I like this too because it's more reminiscent of the vintage version, and man. I think the sky's the limit for this line, man, and it drives me batshit crazy that because I got 2 his tanks, right, and then I was like, yeah, that's gonna be a little too much, so I canceled one in order to get the Hell Charger, so I didn't want to have 2 his tanks and the Hell Charger, and then the Hell Charger doesn't go through, and then I lose out on a his tank. And that was just me trying to be responsible, for lack of a better word, or just be an adult and not get too carried away with it. Like, did I really need 2 his tanks? Kind of. I mean, yeah, but I wanted 2 his tanks, and then I see the Hell Charger come out from HasLab for Marvel Legends, and I'm like, oh, yep, I want that too. So, yeah, man. Yeah, that sucks because I could have had 2 his tanks coming instead. I just got 1. It is what it is, but man, this line is awesome. I can't wait to review more of these and go back and start off at 0. And I have that double 0 Snake Eyes, and then continue going forward. So from now on, you're gonna see a lot more G.I. Joe stuff on my channel. These bats are awesome. I still got 4 more bats in box, and we might unbox them later. But yeah, I kind of put Serpentor in that pose as if he's throwing that snake at Duke. Like, I didn't really gear everybody up the way I really wanted to, and show off some of the things like I seen people wondering what these little valves were that go into Mindbender's guns. We didn't even really talk about Mindbender, but that is to where he pulls the DNA out of the other guys and then puts the vial here and then injects it into the body of Serpentor. So that's what that is. And all this other stuff, like there's really no explanation on the hand that's in here. It's just, you know, some background stuff for Mindbender, the brain, and the skull. We didn't really get to. The bats are freaking awesome. The unfortunate thing is they're coming out with so many damn bats. Like there's the Python Patrol bat that we never got, right, as a vintage figure. Like we did get the Viper. We got a Python Patrol Viper. There was a Trooper. Also, we got a Python Patrol version of, it'll come to me right now in a second, the guy that drives the water moccasin. What's his name? Copperhead. So maybe we might get a Copperhead at some point. Even like, look at that box on Sergeant Slaughter. I'm sorry, we didn't even talk about that. Number 53, Sergeant Slaughter. We didn't even talk about the box where it has some of the cartoon art. It has comic book art, and it's just so damn cool. Like it's so cool. Even when I was pulling him out of the box, I imagine him saying, "Get your hands off me, maggot," or something along those lines. You know what I mean? But yeah, crazy, dude. Like Marvel Legends is gonna have to step their game up. I'm not saying I'm gonna stop collecting them. That's not gonna happen. But when you compare these figures and the prices are the same, man, like there's not there as of right now. There's no comparison. And like I said, originally this was my first love, and then you know, if I had to list things in order, like Marvel was probably third or fourth behind G.I. Joe, Star Wars, and He-Man. Then it was like Marvel Secret Wars. That's what kind of like where I got introduced to them, and the DC. What was it? The DC Friends. What was it called? The Kenner line. I can't remember what it was called, but it was Super Friends, I think it was. And then yeah, and then after that, for me, it was Spawn. But yeah, this line is awesome. I'm glad I decided to pick it up. And in fact, like if you think I'm just capping, like I'm gonna show you my closet right now. All right, so like I said, my garage is kind of in shambles right now. But this is where I have like all my Marvel stuff, and then I got all the G.I. Joe stuff here, and it goes all the way back to the other side. I got boxes, comic books, stuff like that, more comic books down here. But yeah, like, yeah, I wasn't joking when I said I got most of the G.I. Joe stuff, and there's a few gaps in my collection. And like I said, the only other G.I. Joe figure that I opened. But neither here nor there. You guys should stick around because we got more stuff coming. That is my second Sentinel. There's one there. There's a second one. The other box up there. We got stuff all over the place. If you guys haven't been following me, I only got, a few hundred subscribers, somewhere around 800. And then we got all this other Marvel stuff to get to. Unfortunately, I've been like super busy and unable to get to some of this stuff. But let's turn this. If you guys are inclined, please like Yo Joe, subscribe, and as always, take care.